Sláinte, bear with me while I try to set this down. Anyways, how the heck are you? I am Tom the Beer Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this video. Anyway, I know you know I'm not really in here, but I was trying to set a mood, man. Trying to get in the right spot. So it looks like I'm in this nice little Christmas pub. Anyway, how the heck are you? So here's what I got here. This one from Heart State Brewing out of Gahanna, Ohio. I didn't make it to the brewery, unfortunately, but I really wanted to, though. A lot of it was timing. A lot of the breweries didn't open until after 3, and I don't know, the timing just didn't work for some of them, but I was able to pick up a 6-pack of this, the Follow Vanilla Porter, Malty, Mysterious, and Sweet from Heart State Brewing at 5.2%, so it's not a big one, but it has a lot of flavor, man. There's a lot going on here. Oh, yeah. Beautiful vanilla on the nose. You might find some chocolate. You might even find some coffee. Some toffee definitely will come around for you. For me, I get a little bit of dark chocolate note on the nose. A little bit of a very dark roast coffee, and again, that toffee that I mentioned. Very dark toffee, let me be clear about that as well. But vanilla, yeah, you got vanilla going all the way through it, man. I'm going to take a drink, and we'll see what happens. Oh, gosh, that's nice. What I find interesting about this one is it's not as sweet as you might think it is. A lot of flavored porters tend to be very sweet. This one is not. It feels like more of an English style porter base that adds the vanilla. Because it's very clean, nice earthy finish. It never gets very sweet, which I personally really like a lot. I'm going to set that down and show you this whiskey here. This is the Midnight Cask from High Bank Distiller. Now, High Bank's a little interesting because they're about their claim to fame is blending whiskeys. So this is a Midnight Cask. They're barrel proof, a cask strength blend of straight whiskeys and port wine. But that's kind of their thing is blending products together. And this one is at 104.4 proof. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to read this or not because the lighting isn't great where I'm at this particular moment in time, but we'll see what I can do here. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. Anyways, let me show you that bottle there. This is my first drink out of this bottle. So I'm going to have it with you neat, but I love that color, right? I just thought that vanilla porter would blend well with this particular whiskey. Oh, wow. That nose is crazy. You do feel a port wine on the nose. Oh, my goodness. There is certainly a lot going on there. Oh, shit. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, remarkably easy to drink at that proof. Wow, that's insanely delicious. Oh, wow. So you are going to feel some of those port wine notes. Let's hit the obvious first, right? You're going to find some vanilla. You're going to find some oak, some spice notes in the finish. And then those port wine notes are going to impart some dark and or dried fruit notes. There's a nice body going on. Almost feels like and I almost hate to say this because it has a negative connotation, but a fruitcake-like note, right? You get that like that dried cherry, dried apricot kind of thing going on. mercy. This beer is impressive, I gotta tell you. 5.2%. Just a beautifully done porter that adds vanilla. It's very light, crisp, and clean. It is just done so impeccably well, man. I really gotta say. We talk a lot about whiskey geeks, like myself, tend to talk a lot about flavors and aromas, and sometimes we leave out the intrinsics. The body, the viscosity, the mouthfeel. This one just feels good. So I'm trying to describe some other flavors and aromas. It's going to take me a little bit to decipher this one. I mentioned the dark fruit. It feels like I'm getting a lot of dark, dried cherry notes. Again, fruitcake. Think like a candied cherry note. Apricot as well in there. Also picking up, I'm still trying to decipher this. This one flavor is really eluding me. A nice bit of oak and spice in the finish. Mostly the usual suspects, nothing unusual there. But that sweetness I'm still trying to decipher. It's not quite brown sugar, it's not quite molasses, and I'm trying to put that together. Oh, mercy. So back to the beer for a second. I really like this beer, man. A beautifully done porter. Trying to figure something out real quick. Bear with me. That's nice, man. Let's pick this up again. Let me show you that color. That color is just beautiful, is it not? That's just gorgeous, man. Port wine. Yeah, you do feel that port in a great big way, man. Again, I think that's helped providing those, those dark fruit notes or dried fruit notes, and or I'm getting a lot of cherry, to be honest with you. I'm certainly getting some apricot, but you might feel some date and or fig in there. That wouldn't be totally unusual. But I'm really feeling that cherry note, especially on the nose. Almost like a slightly tart cherry. Still trying to figure that sweetness out. I'm trying to, it's like a process of elimination, right? I know what it's not. I just can't figure out what it is. Maybe just a slight hint of maple. So I'm not really feeling molasses, which is typically what I might get. But yeah, I feel like I just a slight notion of molasses in there. Set that down and work on this for a second here. Jeepers, that's delicious. That's just good, man. I don't care who you are. What's a very, very dark caramel-like note? That's what I'm trying to decipher. Almost like just shy of burnt sugar caramel. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. A little nutty, almost like a toasted hazelnut note in there as well. Yeah, it's that very, because it's not toffee. It's more caramel than toffee, but it's not a light caramel. It's more of a dark, just almost burnt sugar caramel. Regardless. Regardless. Irregardless. Oh, no, don't say that. Oh, yeah. Everybody has those cringe words, right? For me, it's supposedly. That's the one that bugs the shit out of me. No, that's not a word, man. Supposedly. Oh, God, don't say that. That makes my head hurt. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Yeah. Regardless. Irregardless. A lot of redundancy there. I'm not really not sure what was going on with that there. And again, the English language lends itself well to a lot of redundancy and stupidity, right? There's a lot of things, a lot of rules that just don't make sense. I before E, except after C, but there are like dozens of exceptions, right? We got like 300 exceptions, but that's the rule. But there are like 300 exceptions to the rule. English just doesn't make a lot of sense, man. Why? Because it's American English is a hodgepodge of everything, right? See how I worked hodgepodge in there? A lot of our words here that we say are an amalgam of a lot of different cultures. So that's why a lot of it just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Because it doesn't make a lot of sense. Because we've taken all these cultures and added it to our English language. You can really feel the beauty of that port wine in here. That's what I really like, I think. It really adds a lot of dimension to this particular whiskey. Rather easy to drink at this cask. Or barrel proof, I should say. Cask strength. But it's still at 104, which is light for a cask. Not light in a bad way. Lighter is actually better. That means do that cask at a lower proof, you get a much cleaner product. I had a great time at that distillery. I was hoping to get back there one more time, but I didn't. It was the first day we were in Columbus, even before we checked into our hotel. But I had a nice young bartender there, and we were talking about stuff. And She asked what I do, and I said, well, I'm a bartender. She said, really? As if to say, but you're an old guy. No, but we're talking about different things and her approach to designing cocktails and my approach to designing cocktails. I find that very interesting, getting a younger person's perspective. She was telling me about different things that were popular in that neck of the woods, and she kind of had a side gig doing pop-up cocktails at different places. But that's what I enjoy during the vacation, though. Actually, for me, is looking at various cocktail menus and talking to the bartenders, getting their perspective. Because the perspective I had was kind of, like a horse with blinders on. I've only seen one thing my entire life, to be honest with you, as far as cocktails. I mean, every cocktail that I made growing up was just very classic. So listening to younger bartenders talk about how they put cocktails together was interesting to me. And I think I do have a knack for putting flavors together, but what I lack is technique. So I'm gonna have to find a way to gain that, learn some technique, kind of on the job, if you will, not go to school or take a class. But I do need to learn from other bartenders to pick up certain techniques that I don't know. But I do feel, in all honesty, without sounding like I'm bragging, I feel like I've got an affinity for it. I feel like again, I have a knack for finding the right flavors and putting those right flavors together to make the cocktails that I do. But I do kind of go out of my way to make them as simple as humanly possible, because I feel like a lot of bartenders go out of their way to make things a lot more complicated than they need to be. And a lot of that is because you want to have that. So I'm this bartender, I'm known for this. And I don't want that. I want every bartender to look at every recipe I have and say, this is something you can do easily. It's not hard to do. There's not a lot going on, but it's important to get the right balance of everything. And that's the thing that I think is missing with a lot of younger bartenders is I feel like they want to make things so complicated so nobody can copy it, but they're kind of missing the point, right? And again, I think maybe just my old school way of looking at things is everything I make, if another bartender comes into where I work and tries my cocktail and likes it, I honestly hope they can duplicate it or get real close to it. Because that gets that drink out there, man. They don't have to come just to me to get it. And I know that seems counterproductive, but you want them to come just to you. No, I really don't. I want everything to be accessible to everybody. The hardest part for me, in all honesty, is writing down the recipes, because it's really not something I do. Whether if I'm cooking or making cocktails, it's all kind of winging it, right? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. We'll see what happens. But having to be precise, it's okay. That's a teaspoon of this or a half a teaspoon of that. Yeah, that's hard for me because that's just not the way I operate. It's not the way my mind works, man. My daughter will ask me for food recipes, so I've got to kind of go back and say, okay, what did I use here? So I've got to go back and say, okay, did I use a teaspoon, a tablespoon? Hell, I don't know. I'm just dropping stuff in. So I kind of guess, you want to put because she needs exact, right? And so I feel like that's where we are with cocktails as well. When I'm making a cocktail or when I'm putting together a cocktail, I'm putting those not so precise measurements together to make the flavor that I want. But once I got that, then I somehow have to figure out what the precise measurements were that got me to that particular flavor. And that I'm not great at, I will admit to that. A lot of it's guesswork, man. But I do enjoy it. I do enjoy being a bartender, I guess. More than I've enjoyed doing anything else. What's interesting though is my mom. I actually thought about going to bartender school right at 21, and my mom was very encouraging for me to do that. But nobody else in the family was, so I never did that. Some of it was money, and it was, I don't know, maybe I wasn't ready for it at the time anyway. But my mom was always very encouraging and said, if that's something you like, that's something you should do. But I did other things that became more lucrative, to a point anyway. But I do love this particular stage in my life. I like to call it my third act career. Hope I got a fourth one coming, but nevertheless. I like to call it my third act career, where I really enjoy being a bartender. I enjoy pouring good craft beer. I like designing cocktails, even cocktails that the other bartenders design in the place. I really enjoy making as well because I can still put my own little spin on it. I like making people happy when they taste something, even if I didn't design it. If they taste something, they say, "That's great. Hey, I'm happy with it. That makes me happy." Anyways, I digress. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and oh, God almighty, this stuff is awesome. Let me show you this bottle one more time. Midnight Cask from High Bank Distillery, Columbus, Ohio. A cask strength blend of straight whiskeys and port wine. That's kind of their thing. So I'll be honest with you, I'm not typically a fan of blends. That's why I wasn't sure about going there or not. But I'm telling you, their products are rather amazing, and that's kind of what they're known for, is the blend. So let me show you this can one more time. Follow Vanilla Porter, Heart State Brewing, 5.2%. Oh my gosh, this stuff is amazing. So there you go. I did my Whiskey Whisperer spiel. We're going to do the Beer Whisperer bit. Tom the Beer Whisperer. All around good guy. Slancher. Thanks for tuning in, guys.